Huge waves and high winds have battered many parts of the UK. The southwest has fared particularly badly, with winds of close to 320 kilometres an hour recorded at high altitudes. In the city of Porthcawl in Wales, the tempest slammed against the sea wall. With many businesses and homes just metres away, residents were braced for the worst. However, some were keen to snap pictures of what has been one of the strongest storms in 3 decades. A gust of 196 kilometres an hour was recorded on the Isle of Wight, setting a new record. This comes just days after another powerful storm, Dudley, caused power outages and transport disruption. The UK's Met Office attributes the storms to an unusually strong jet stream over the Atlantic Ocean. After also affecting the Netherlands, Eunice is now headed for northern Germany, where weather warnings have been issued. Meanwhile, in the north of England, Eunice caused a blanket of snow to fall. Raul San, Euronews.
Well, some terrifying scenes there. Let's bring in Vincent McAviney in London. Vinny, record-breaking winds, even a warning that this could be a life-threatening storm. Talk us through the extent of the damage that's being seen and how long it could last as well.
Well, thankfully, no deaths yet reported here in the UK, but dozens of injuries. As that report mentioned, sadly, one person has died in the Republic of Ireland. And it has been extremely windy. I think a lot more windy here in London, for instance, than people were expecting. We've had winds at the moment of up to 70, 80 miles an hour here where I am in East London. It's so windy that I really cannot go outside to do this report. This is near to where that roof has been ripped off London's O2 arenas. So there are weather warnings now in place still across the country. Those red ones have been lifted for Wales, the southwest and London. We're in an amber one in Wales and the south of England and a yellow one in Scotland. But it's still pretty dangerous out there. There's still that risk to life. We've seen buildings damaged. There's lots of balconies made of glass nearby here that I've seen that have smashed. There's lots of tree branches flying around. So still a bit of a risk, even though things have calmed down slightly.
Well, good to hear that you're keeping safe, Vinny. And this is the first red warning to be issued in London and the southeast of England since the system was actually introduced in 2008. So are the necessary preparations in place?
Well, I think that's a bit of a question because I think the scale of this storm only really came to light about 24 hours ago. There are questions as to why there weren't maybe more warnings earlier in the week, because it is now confirmed that it's the worst storm in about 3 decades here in the UK. About 2 years ago, they did come up with this new storm naming system in order to try to encourage people to take these warnings more seriously and to sort of make it clearer what was happening, how systems were moving through. I think there are going to be a little bit of questions as to why there weren't stronger warnings, particularly when you're getting winds up to, as mentioned, 120 miles per hour on the south coast. Areas look to have been caught as well with a really high spring tide with some coastal flooding. So I think there'll be questions about possibly the warnings through the week and some of the preparations that have taken place.